Hi guys, it's your pontiff, ArchieLuxury, and I'm on the Pluta channel doing paid reviews. This is paid review 21QA89, and this is a review for Mr. E. He doesn't want his real name used. Okay, before we start this review, what am I wearing today? Quick wristwatch check. Milgauss, Z-Blue, Milgauss. Okay, let's have a look here. Hello, Arch. I hope all is well. Please refer to me as Mr. E, as you did in a previous review for me, and I enjoyed it. I am 31 years old. I want to give you my current state of my collection and then get your advice on 3 watches. I currently have a Rolex Explorer 214270 Mark II. I got this watch in 2018 from my AD. I wasn't expecting to get a watch that day, but it was available at the time and I took the plunge. It's been a perfect watch and I plan to keep it forever. Getting your first Rolex is a very special thing, especially now that it's been discontinued. My second watch is the new sub-date 126610LN. I got this from my AD as well, and I'm very lucky to do so. This has been my main watch since I obtained it, and I love it. Now that my no-date watch and Submariner with date function boxes have been ticked, on to lusting after the next one. I have 3 watches in mind. I want to tick the 2-tone box, but have to, of course, stick with Rolex. Now he's looking at a couple choices here. He's looking at the Rolex GMT Master 2, 2-tone, steel with Everrose, reference 126711CHNR, which is about 14,800 US, 14,800 US. The next one is the Rolex Daytona 2-tone with a black dial, 116503, about 17,400 US, 17,400. And the third option is the Rolex Sky Dweller 2-tone Jubilee or Oyster, black dial, reference 326933, 17,600 US dollars. Assuming I am able to obtain any three of these, which should I go for? Let's assume prices are the same and all 3 are in front of me right now and I don't plan to sell them. He goes on to say the GMT Master 2 would tick the GMT function, the Daytona would tick the chronograph, the Sky Dweller would tick everything, but it's very elegant, not sporty. He's PayPal'd me $50 US for the review. I appreciate your time. And I gotta be honest with you, this is a fairly good question. The guy has gone about it the right way. He's got a wind and wear. I've got my Z-Blue. He's got the Explorer one. He's got a sub-date steel, yes, and he's now looking for the 3rd piece. I've got to be totally honest with you. Out of that combo mix there, what's my opinion? What is my opinion? Okay, so this is interesting. I think firstly, as far as the, well, let's start from the least desired. I think the Sky Dweller, I really like it in steel with the blue dial, white gold bezel. I think that is a cool watch. In the 2-tone, it is quite a large watch. I'd probably scrap that. I'd say, nah, let's not get that. It is a magical watch. I think the Sky Dweller, even though it is an annual calendar and it has a GMT function on it, I just don't feel the love for the 2-tone. I really like it in the steel. That's not to say it's not a great watch, but this is just the vibe I'm getting. Then the question is, do you go for the Ever Rose? Now, the Ever Rose, man, that is such a cool watch. I love it. I absolutely love the root beer. And it's not yellow gold, it's rose gold. I got to tell you, I think that could be absolutely perfect. That's what I would go for. And whilst we're on that, what about the Daytona? The Daytona is pretty damn cool. It is a very cool watch. I've had a two-tone Daytona Magic. I had beautiful blue dial. I just think the root beer is just a no-compromise, gorgeous. The most beautiful two-tone in the Rolex range is the Bluesy. That's my honest opinion. The second most beautiful is the root beer. I really love the Ever Rose. That'd be my choice. And you know what? If you can't get that, or if you're going on the pre-owned market, I'd also say a two-tone GMT ceramic black with the beautiful contrasting steel and yellow gold. That'd be, I reckon that is a magic watch. So I got to be totally honest with you. Those are three great choices. They're Rolex. You can't go wrong. But I just think the Ever Rose, GMT, the root beer, that is definitely where I'd be going. They're not, any of those are not bad choices. I think the Daytona, I like it in two-tone, but I just think I would like you to add a Omega Speedmaster. I think Man on the Moon would be a great, to have a manual wind chronograph. I think there's a lot said for having a wind and wear Omega. I'd probably get the Speedy. Daytona prices have gone crazy, but I reckon the root beer is not impossible to get, but it's a great watch there. Now, so I definitely go root beer. That's my opinion. Now, that doesn't mean the other two are bad. Look, if you get, the problem in this economy and this world is it's not necessarily what we want, it's what is available. Beggars can't be choosers. The other option is, instead of getting the two-tone root beer, you could get an Explorer 2 42mm and add a Speedy. Maybe that could be a great combination. The other thing is, he sent me a little bit of an update. He says, oh, P.S. I eventually want an all-gold piece to be a Day-Date 40, yellow gold with a black dial, but that's many years down the road. Thanks again. So I got to be totally honest with you. I think the Day-Date 40 is a superb watch. I think if you're going to get if you've got dreams of getting a Day-Date 40, which is, I love that watch, I'd probably think you either get that just backs up the decision not to get the Sky Dweller. I think you either get a Sky Dweller or a Day-Date 40. I don't think you have both. So I would say, look, that certainly compounds the dilemma there. So in my opinion, 100% I'd go root beer. If you don't, now, this is the thing, is with Rolex, it's not so much what you want, it's what's available. I don't know, you're getting it from the AD. If you can't get it from the AD, if you're going to buy on the pre-owned, I think the ceramic GMT two-tone with yellow gold, steel and yellow gold, is a beautiful, beautiful watch. I'd also consider that. I reckon that's something to consider if you're buying pre-owned, obviously, because that model's been dropped. If you are looking for some bargain, bit of bang per buck bargaining, the other thing, of course, would be an Explorer 2 and maybe a Speedmaster, an Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon. And I got to tell you, I think the Steel Daytonas, they've gone ballistic. They have gone ballistic The horse is bolted. Big money. Big, big, big money. I reckon the Speedy would be a beautiful manual wine piece to have in the collection. So I honestly do not have any problems. I don't have any issues with what you want to do there. So very good dilemma. What a nice dilemma to have. Okay there, Mr. E, that's the advice. Again, picking any of those three there, this is first world problems. Any Rolex is amazing. They are amazing things to have. So you're not really picking a bad choice there. You've asked me the question. These are personal. It's also what's available. I mean, that doesn't mean if the AD can give you a two-tone Daytona, you pull out and say, no. You asked me what would I prefer. So everything being equal, that's my opinion. That doesn't mean any of those are rubbish choices, because they're not. Okay, guys, I love you so much. Guys, like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Remember, I can't survive on the Google ads itself. I really do need assistance to be surviving in the YouTube space. These paid reviews are the difference between me surviving and sinking. So if you haven't done a paid review, I would really appreciate it. Okay, guys, I will see you in the next one. And don't forget, you can also sponsor me on Patreon. You know, my Patreon people, I try and have a few emails going out to them every week just to stay connected. Okay, guys, I will see you in the next one. See you later. Hi, guys, ArchieLuxury. And who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.